Good afternoon and welcome to the Prep Hoop Circuit bracket release show for the Grind region in Wichita, Kansas. I'm Matt Reynolds. Man, this tournament, it's going to be a blast. This is where I will be all weekend, so I am looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome weekend. First things first, let me update you on a few things. Games are going to start Friday at noon. We're getting ready to get you the brackets for 17U, followed by 16U and 15U. Lots of great guests on the way as well to break everything down. It's going to be an absolute blast. But one thing you should know, Friday night, slam dunk contest, three-point contest. I'll be emceeing it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's sponsored by Wilson, also sponsored by Recruit Me. If you don't know where Recruit Me is, check it out. Great stuff though. It's going to be really fun on Friday night, so we're looking forward to having as many people as we can fit in the gym. We're going to make it loud. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome, and hey, champions will be crowned on the three-point side and on the dunk contest side. The voting has started for the three-point and dunk contest now. You have to vote. You got to get your top guys in, and you only have until Wednesday to do it. So get to prephoopcircuit.com right here where you are watching to vote for everything. But hey, don't go vote this second because we have to unveil the 17U bracket, and let's get to it. The 17U grind bracket, you are going to be the first people to see it right here and right now, and we will begin in the upper left-hand corner with the #1 seed, Big East squad out of Dallas. That's right, Dallas Showtime Elite, Day Hall, and everybody they have on that group. Let me just tell you, they have a lot of talent. Julian Smith, a nice little guard I like, as well as Sherman Brashear. They are a fun, exciting group to watch at that 1 seed spot. The 64 seed will have their hands full. It's Kansas Primetime Ballers. We'll see what they're able to do. Hey, who knows? Maybe we could have one of those massive NCAA tournament 116 upsets. But it's going to be pretty tough as Dallas Showtime Elite. Very good squad. Colorado Anarchy comes in at the 32 spot against a very interesting Oklahoma Wolfpack squad. Coach Anthony Baker will have his squad ready to go. Team KC Gray takes the 17 spot, and they will face the Houston Raptors Netty squad. You'll see Houston Raptors a few times throughout this bracket as they've got a couple teams, and every single one of them are very talented, very good to the point, hey, they're going to be able to make some noise in this event. 16 seed goes to Texas Jazz Elite, where they will play one of my personal favorites in the entire bracket, the North Florida Hurricanes. Quajon Young is a really good point guard for them. I really enjoy watching him play. He brings emotion to the floor. He brings intensity. It's just fun to watch this young man and this team. They're going to be a good group to watch. They'll have their hands full against Texas Jazz Elite, though, in the first round. Missouri Flight Blue comes in at #9. This is how good this team is. They've been to the finals of a couple tournaments now on the Prep Hoop circuit. Look out for them. They're the #9 seed. That tells you how loaded this bracket is. The fact that they are the #9 seed facing the Arkansas Heat Elite squad in the opening round. I mean, it's going to be fun, so get your popcorn ready. Houston Live takes the 24 seed against #41 seed Team Foe Select. Marlo Johnson always has his group ready to play, and I'm excited to see what Coach Marlo brings. Although this is his select group, they're not going to lay down, so Houston Live better be ready to go. TSK Black will face the KC Pacers Blue squad. KC Pacers Blue is a team that, I'm telling you now, be careful, TSK, because they are a very good group, an interesting group you're going to want to watch and pay attention to. The 8th spot goes to Texas Impact. Coach TJ has his squad right in the mix of things, and when you look at everything that he's brought to the table, they have so much talent on the floor. It starts with their big fella and goes all throughout their team. They're a loaded group. They'll face Victory Ministry Orange, who has some prospects that I just saw the other day. They're already getting scholarships. That's right. We'll move on down to the next quadrant, and then the top last seed of the bracket, that's right, the last 1 seed, the 4-seeded Houston Raptors Benjamin squad takes on Texas Takeover Elite Ned. It's always fun when you get Texas teams going against each other, and in the first 2 games of this quadrant we have both, with the Houston Raptors taking on Texas Takeover and D1 Houston taking on Texas Takeover Elite Kemp. This one's going to be a very interesting development. There's a possibility, slim possibility, but there's a possibility Texas Takeover actually plays each other if they're both able to win. But who knows? Maybe they'll get that. I'm sure they would take that because that would be a massive victory for a 61 seed over the 4. Both Texas Takeover squads very talented. Houston Raptors are loaded with talent. A really, really, really fun squad to watch, led by their point guard. And when you move on down, NHL Silman. They are not going to back down for anything. NLHA is in their home gym. They're loaded with talent. They spread the floor really well. And they're going to face Boykins Basketball Academy. That's right. They're coached by the man, the myth, the legend, Earl Boykins, who played in the NBA. And he does a great job developing his kids. So I'm looking forward to seeing them after the spring tournament that I saw them at last was in Wichita, actually, which is where this same tournament will be at, with Next Level Hoops Academy is hosting it in their beautiful 12 courts. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm looking for some big improvement out of this Boykins squad. I think he's going to be able to shape and get those guys right where they need to be. Earl Boykins always doing big things with his program out of Colorado. Let's move on. Texas Supreme Kings will take on Texas Impact RL in the 13:52 matchup, followed by the 12-seeded NLHA Gaddis squad against Freedom Hoops. There's a possibility NLHA could play each other, but it would not be until the Elite 8. And hey, at this point, who knows in this bracket, as it is completely wide open. BTR comes in at the 21 seed with so much talent on this team. I mean, Coach Jesse Brown, the program director for them, has done a wonderful job getting BJ Jefferson, MJ Warrior, and company ready to go. And they will face a very interesting SSA Hoops Elite White squad. 110 Basketball Whitaker takes on Beast Elite out of Texas, and the winner of that will get Team KC Black or Texas Takeover Elite Myron. Team KC Black, loaded with talent. We'll get to them later on in the show with just all the talent that they have. Let's go to the top right quadrant, and that is where the 2 seed overall in the entire tournament, Team Spates. They'll take on Oklahoma Hoops. Oklahoma Hoops has Scythe and Mathis, a very, very good rebounder. Team Spates is loaded with talent. Deontay Blanche is where they start off at the point guard spot. Just a team that you're really, really going to have to pay attention to and watch out for. And we move down. The next matchup that you'll see on the board is one of the more interesting matchups, I personally feel like, in this entire bracket for the first round. I mean, this is a game where you really, really see that it is going to be up in the air. I mean, completely up in the air for this one. Tony Thompson's squad, what he's been able to do with Tennessee Edge, has been really cool to see, and you could really say the same for the Pluto Prospects. They've done a lot of very positive things as well on their end, so that's got a fun 31-34 matchup. The Oklahoma Eagles coming in at 18. That's right, Coach Bagwell. You got the 18 seed, which is very, very impressive for them. C.J. Campbell has been big at the point guard spot for them. Jalen Todd on the wing has had an awesome year. And they're going to face, that's right, I know Clifford is watching right here, right now, and that is who they're going to get. An interesting matchup for them against the San Antonio Tar Heels, a group that has started to really turn the corner, and I know Coach Clifford will be excited that they have a tough matchup in the Oklahoma Eagles, but hey, you made the top 64, Coach Clifford, your 47th seed, doing some very big things throughout this spring. The 15-50 matchup is another interesting one with Texas Elite Warriors, a group that really is loaded with athleticism. They play good defense. I like them a lot. They could be that team in the top 15 that ends up winning this whole thing, but they'll have to get past the sharpshooter, Connor Calivan, and his team that is full of sharpshooters. Kason Hartloff can shoot the ball really well. Caden Hale. They have a loaded group over there with the Tulsa Hawks elite squad, and Josh Minnie always playing some good defense as well for them. So looking forward to what they're able to do in that matchup. That's going to be an interesting one in this quadrant without a doubt. NTX Crush has surprises from the get-go. They had a wonderful weekend in the opening weekend, and you were able to see them do some really big things. They'll play the Kansas Hogs in that 10:55 matchup, and the Kansas Hogs, look out. That's a team. I know they're towards the bottom end of the 64, but they're a group that really could get an upset with head coach Steve Bonner and what he's able to do with his kids. SSA Hoops Elite Black will face Dallas Showtime White. Although it's not Dallas Showtime's top team, that is the overall 1 seed, don't sleep on this team. They've got a lot of talent as well. All Arkansas Red. Look out, Carlos Miller Jr., outstanding athlete on the wing, really, really talented. He's going to bring a lot to the table, and a big reason why a lot of college coaches will be watching this particular team this weekend. All Arkansas Red can bring it. Texas Pride Elite is who they will get. A 26-39 matchup. Super, super intriguing. This would be, in essence, the 5-12 matchup if this was an NCAA tournament game, and it's going to feature some very, very exciting players as you look at the winner and who they would get. I'm even more excited because I think this is going to deliver in a big way. Tatum Conaway for Team Foe Elite, who is a 7 seed, can just absolutely jam the ball. He has been unbelievable throughout this entire spring, doing some very big things for Team Foe Elite. And it's not just him. He's got a lot of guys with him, around him, that are really talented and doing some special things. So the 7 seed, I know it's not the 1 seed, they're not expected to win. But Team Foe Elite, I expect them fully to be possibly a Final Four team. Who knows? Maybe they match up with Team Spates again. Ooh, that would be a fun matchup. They will play the D1 Prospects to kick things off. Have to take care of things from the get-go. That's first things first. The number 3 spot is Arkansas Athletes Outreach, who won the Wichita tournament the last time they were there. Whew, what if they could do it again? They might. They might just pull it off. Elliot Pascal and company, very talented group coached by Cal Unruh, and a group that when they walk off the bus, you see, oh, they've got size, they've got shooting, but the thing that surprises you, they've got athleticism. Look out for them. They are going to be a very good team this weekend that I expect big things from. I saw them last early in July. And let's just say, hey, they were warming up. And I think that by this event, they will be more than ready to make some big noise. They will play Team Foe White to kick things off in that 362 matchup. And the winner of that one will get the winner of Team KC Silver and Oklahoma Power. Oklahoma Power's got James Locke on the wing, a talented shooter for what all he is able to do. And we all know that Team KC, no matter what team you face from them, they're going to be tough. They're going to be a good group that you're going to have to bring it each and every single game. Next up, we've got the Texas Tar Heels out of Texas facing McAllen Ballers in the 1946 matchup. McAllen, if you don't know where that is, McAllen, Texas is all the way down on the map, almost to Mexico. And let me just tell you, they have some ballers. There's a reason their name is Ballers after all. The 14 seed is the West Texas Blazers Jones squad facing against BWA. The West Texas Blazers have had a tremendous spring and summer, and I'm looking for them to finish this thing strong. They are a team that's in the top 15. I think anybody in the top 15 could win this tournament. And honestly, we heard from Scott Burgess earlier in the show about the Northern region and the Hard Work region. He thinks a team in the top 20 could even win in one of those brackets. I could see that easily in this one because it's so loaded. Team Griffin comes in at the 11th spot against Dallas Showtime Black, the 54 seed, and they will get the winner of KC Pacers White and Kansas Grind Elite. That's a Kansas matchup that I really enjoy seeing that we have that in the first round because both those teams know each other a little bit, and that's going to bring a little bit of interstate rivalry and some fun to that game. Team Foe 17U squad will face off against Victory Ministry Blue in the 27-38 matchup. Victory Ministry, a team that has some prospects. Look out for them. They're going to be a team that could make some noise in this tournament. Last but not least, the very last 2 teams, it's an Oklahoma showdown. Number 6 seed, Team Buddy Buckets. They've got Trajan Davis, Katie Jolly, Jordan Thompson, Christian Cook. The list goes on and on and on. This team's loaded against Oklahoma Hustle, who I know you see 59 and you say what you want to say. But I'm just telling you now, Kayvon Key and company will be ready. Paul Harvey does a great job with Oklahoma Hustle, and I'm looking forward to that matchup and seeing what it's going to present for this next weekend. Man, after seeing that bracket, I'm so pumped. I want to see some games right now. Sadly, we'll have to wait till Friday at noon, but we will see them before long. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our first guest of the program will join me right here to break down some of the 17U bracket. By the way, you'll see the graphic in the break. 3-point contest, dunk contest. You can go vote for those now on prephoopcircuit.com. Stay with us, though. We'll be back here in just about 30 seconds with our first guest. Welcome back to the Prep Hoops Circuit Bracket Release Show. We just gave you the 17U brackets, and now we turn our attention a little bit deeper dive into it with NBA champion. That's right, Maurice Spates joining us on the line, and I want to start with this. Maurice, let me say first off, it is really, really cool to see a guy give back. I know a lot of people may have not seen you yet at a tournament that are in this bracket. If you don't know, yes, it's the real guy. It's Mo Spates, who played with the Golden State Warriors and won the championship. And what's cool about it is you're in the nitty-gritty of these things. You know the kids. You're trying to help them get to the next level. Let's start with this. When you started this journey and you wanted to be a coach, you wanted to be involved as much as you were, why? What was the reasoning behind it?
Well, for me, it's like the way I was raised and the way I was coming up. Most of my guys is kind of in the same situation. So I know that my platform and things I have did over my career, I'm still doing is a platform for a lot of kids out there who people probably don't want to touch. So for me, I just want to, like you said, I just want to give back. I just want to get them the inside scoop of an NBA player because I've been through it. I've been through it, the highs and the lows, and just want to get them the platform of that. And then their parents trust me about doing that, so that's the best feeling.
Now, your team is loaded with talent, and I do mean loaded out of the state of Florida. Break down just a few of the guys. I know you got a lot. You could go down the whole list. Break down a few of those guys for me and tell people what they're going to be watching when they see them in Wichita next weekend.
Well, Deontay Blanche is probably one of the top 50, top 75 guards in the nation. He just destroyed the last live period in Atlanta last weekend. Picked up total now. I think he got 15 offers. So
wow.
Just a great point guard. And then I go with Eric Lee. Him also last weekend picked up a lot of offers. He got like 8 or 9 now. That he's becoming dominant on the circuit. And then Jacob Hester, my forward, pretty good. One of them like a Midwest kind of player. Tough guy who's just go out there and compete all the time. Then I got another point guard I have is Troy Joseph that he's coming on late, but he's been picking up a lot of energy going up to this prep food tournament. The finals up here in Wichita, so I can't really give you all my stuff because I know people are listening to this, but I'll give you something.
Mo, one last question. What is going to be the key? You face Oklahoma Hoops, a squad in the first round. You're the number 2 overall seeds. You're in one of those. You've been in the NCAA tournament. You've won not just a championship with the Golden State Warriors. You've won with the Florida Gators as well. So you've been through these 64-team brackets before. You've seen the 116 matchup before. And you walk through with me just what's it going to take, not just with the 116, but for you to win this whole entire bracket and get through 64 teams. What is the key?
Man, we just got to worry about us. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if we go out there and play the basketball we know to play, then it's going to be hard to beat us. But you always got to respect the team. You always got to respect anybody who you playing against because basketball God is real. If you go out there and think you're better than this team and that team, that's how you become in a dog fight. So, like I always teach my kids, man, just stay prepared for any situation. Go out there and play our game. Go out there and respect the other team, and at the end of the day, we'll live what the results is.
Mo, thanks so much for the time, and looking forward to seeing you next Friday.
All right, thank you.
That was Maurice Spates, NBA champion, NCAA champion. Man, he's just a winner at the end of the day. And I know that it would do him a lot of favors going forward. For just him, he likes to win. He's competitive. He wants to win this bracket. So everybody in this bracket know that Maurice Spates, he's ready for you. He's got his team prepared, and they're ready to go next weekend in Wichita. But they're going to have a lot of competition on their hands. Speaking of competition, let's roll some 17U highlights for you. There are a lot of different teams I could have gone with, so forgive me. But I only had so much time. So I just had a few that I could show you, but I will show you what I have. And we'll start with our very first highlight for the 17U bracket and a loaded bracket. I mean, you look at this. Check out this highlight. It is so loaded with talent, with athleticism, with everything that these players bring to the floor. it's going to be fun. And there's a big reason why a bunch of college coaches will be cued in on watching this exact highlight that we're about to show you. So let's go ahead and hit those. And we'll start with the team we just got off the phone with. That's right, Team Spates, Maurice Spates and his squad. You saw him there to start off the highlight. They are a loaded group. It starts with Deontay Blanche at the point guard spot, but you see Michael Phillips with a nice pass inside there. He is a good big man for them and a young guy. Age-wise, I'm telling you, you see they can get up, they can shoot, they're athletic, they bring a lot of things to the floor. Deontay Blanche right there on the floor diving for it. When your best player is willing to get on the floor and give everything he has for it, that does a lot of things for your squad. And this group really did some awesome things. These highlights are from Denver. They made a good run there, and they won the Dallas event. And I love the intensity they bring. That's Deontay Blanche there with the steal and the jam. You can see why the young man has lots of college offers, right? I mean, it's pretty easy to tell. He has Division I offers for a good reason because he can play defense. If you're watching, hey, defense is important. Not only can he play defense, so he can do a lot of things just like that, sharing the ball and getting the ball to his teammates in great spots and setting them up for success. Super excited to see this group and how they match up going forward throughout this weekend that we have in Wichita. And as I said, you see Maurice Spates over there on the bench. He will be coaching them. These guys have a very, very special opportunity to be coached by an NCAA champion, an NBA champion. He's been there in all walks of life, and they bring it each and every game. They're going to be a team that has a lot to offer and a lot of different prospects to try to slow down. Jacob Hester, another guy you see there, number 23, that is super, super tough. Let's move on. Team Buddy Buckets. Christian Cook. You see him shaking hands there with JT. That's right, Jordan Thompson. And you see Christian Cook can throw it down. Christian has had an outstanding spring. The offers are flowing in Division II-wise. He has a ton. And in these highlights, you can see he can dunk the ball, yes, but he can play some defense. That's where he's really improved a lot. And as a team, this Team Buddy Buckets 17U squad has improved a lot with the defense that they're able to bring to the floor, game in and game out. This is a group that has a chance to win it all with Sam Godwin, Jordan Thompson, Christian Cook, and everything that they bring. One of the teams they've met twice deep in tournaments is Team KC, and Team KC is ready to go. Coach Pips has his guys always prepared, and when you look at everything they bring to the table, it starts with 25 right there. Cayman Lennox, their point guard, who is getting some Division I interest, has a lot of D2 offers, is starting to really turn the corner, and you can see why very evidently in the way he plays. Another young man that I should point out is Jared Hensley on their squad, a long guy who is starting to get Division I offers from everywhere. LSU is his latest big offer. UTSA, I mean, you go on and on. This young man is starting to pour in the offers, and this team is going to be a team that you're going to have to really keep a close eye on at the end of the day. Now, we move forward, and you're seeing on the screen right now, that's Day-Day Hall inside going against this Team KC for Dallas Showtime. Day-Day Hall and Dallas Showtime is another group that you're going to have to really watch out for. He shows you what he can do inside. He's an old man type of game. Willing to play down low, willing to do everything he can do. As far as from the standpoint, this young man is not going to just lay down. He's going to give you everything he's got. And in the grand scheme of things, that's a big reason why they're successful, because of everything that he is able to bring to the table for their 17U squad. Dallas Showtime, I expect them to make a deep run. They're the 1 seed for a reason. Big E has his squad prepared as always, and they're coming to win it, just as is everybody else. I predict in this tournament, in the Final Four teams, there will be a team outside the top 20, at least make the Final Four, if not 2. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked, because as much talent as there is in this tournament, top to bottom, and in this field of the 17U bracket for the grind region, anything could happen. Let's go forward to the 16U bracket. I know this is a highly anticipated bracket for a lot of people looking to unveil it, and we'll get to it right now. You are the first one seeing it live here for the 16U grind region, and it starts at the top. It can't start any other way. I'm just going to be quite honest. Team Buddy Buckets has been unbelievable. Just everywhere, about everywhere they've gone, they win. That's what they do. They play up, they win. They play down at their age, they win. Whatever this team has needed, they continue to get. They're the 1 seed. They have a bye for a reason. They are the overwhelming favorite in this bracket. I would say this bracket is probably the one unique bracket where it's very clear all targets are pointed towards Team Buddy Buckets because they have continued to rack up wins against a lot of these teams throughout the entire bracket. Now, 32 and 33 teams will be the ones that get that opportunity to take the first crack at Team Buddy Buckets, but they have to get past their first opponent. It's Team KC Silver and Colorado Anarchy in that matchup. SSA Hoops Elite White will face Beast Elite out of Texas in the 17-48 matchup, and they will play the winner there of Pluto Prospects and Kansas Grind Elite Gold. Pluto Prospects has done some big things as a program out of the state of Colorado. They continue to improve, and as you look at this bracket and how it shapes up, all Arkansas Red is a team you have to really take into account at that 8 seed. 25 spot goes to Victory Ministry Blue, and Oklahoma Wolfpack gets the 40 slot. This is where the bracket gets where, yes, they're the 1 seed overwhelmingly is Team Buddy Buckets. They've proven that. However, after them, there's a lot of talented teams that are going to be fighting for position. And in this 40 to 25 matchup, I could see Oklahoma Wolfpack getting the upset, or I can see Victory Ministry Blue going a long way in the bracket. It's all down to how are these teams playing. Are they playing their best basketball as we get down? We used to say March, but in AU basketball, we say July. A 24 spot is the KC Impact squad going against Texas Elite, followed by Team KC Gray at the 9 spot and Stat Elite White. We move to our next quadrant in the Grind Region 16U bracket, and giving us the number 4 seed. A little bit of a surprise in this bracket to me. Before the season, I did not know a few of these teams. Let me just tell you, I know the D1 prospects very well now. There's a reason why they are the final 1 seed in the bracket, the 4th overall seed, and they will get the winner of the Spencer Cougars and Rocky Mountain Select. Spencer Cougars have a lot of talent on that squad, very athletic, well coached, and they're going to bring it. You can expect Coach Talley will have his guys ready to go. Rocky Mountain Select, I've really liked what I saw out of them early in July. I got a chance to watch them in the very first weekend of July, and they are starting to piece it together and finally get their best basketball, which is the best time for the biggest tournament of the year here with the Grind Region Championship. The 20 spot goes to the Texas Supreme Kings. And they will be playing the 45th seed out of Tulsa, the Tulsa Kings. Braden Weaver and everything that he's been able to do, look for that Tulsa Kings squad to push the Texas Supreme Kings squad. By the way, if you didn't notice, that's Battle of the Kings. I always like that when we get the mascots facing off there. 13 seed overall is Dallas Showtime Rise. This is a program we saw they were the number 1 seed in the 17U. Don't sleep on them being the 13th seed facing Arkansas Heat Elite. The 5th seed is one of those teams. Before the year, I did not know who the St. Louis Blazers were, but I'll leave this year knowing the St. Louis Blazers are a very, very talented group, very well coached, very well organized. They bring it every single game, and they will have a bye because of what they have earned themselves throughout the regular season play on the Prep Hoop circuit. Tulsa Hawks White. Tulsa Hawks White has done a lot of positive things. There's a reason why they get the 28th seed. In their first tournament, if you would have told me they were in the top half of the seeds, I would have told you probably you're crazy. But they have really developed these young men, and they have made it a point to share the ball, to get the best basketball out of it. They play such tough defense, though. That's what I love out of this group. They'll get a tough matchup in an athletic squad, Tennessee Edge in the 37 matchup. That's going to be one of the most intriguing games of this quadrant in the opening round. Dallas Showtime Elite at the 21 seed will face off against Victory Ministry Orange. This is a tale of both teams are the second teams for their organization. That being said, it's going to be a dogfight in this one for the opening round. Last but not least, Hoop Smart Basketball. Woo, man, have they had a good week. They have been awesome throughout July out of the state of Arkansas, doing some very, very big things. They will face the North Florida Hurricanes in that final quadrant game, the 12:53 matchup. Moving up to the top right for the 16U Grind Region Finals, you get where we have Team Spates, and they will get the winner of Tulsa Hawks Blue and BWA. Missouri Flight Blue will face off against Team Foe Black in the 1847 matchup, followed with the 15-seeded Texas Elite Warriors and Tulsa Hawks Elite. The 7th spot is the SSA Hoops Elite Black Squad, and it's followed by the 23-seeded SSA Hoops Elite black squad facing against Dallas Showtime White. All Arkansas Red at 26 and Pride Elite at 39 will be a fun one, as well as Oklahoma Power. When you look at everything they've done, they're the 10 seed for a region, and it's going to be a dogfight because they're facing another Oklahoma team that knows them pretty well in Ball for Life, and Jody Huffman doing some impressive things. I really like Landry Harris for Oklahoma Power in the year that he's had, and looking forward to what they are able to do. Moving down, Play Ball Nation, PB Nation, Adidas Squad. They've done huge things on this circuit, and when you look at everything Johnny Jordan and his squad have accomplished, it won't mean as much to them, I know, if they don't win this thing. They're coming here to win. They're talented enough to win, and they're ready to put on display a bunch of victories. It starts for them with a bye, and then they will face either Team KC Silver or Oklahoma Power Select, followed by the Texas Tar Heels at 19 and the McAllen Ballers at 46. West Texas Blazers Jones squad rounds out this top quadrant with the 14 seed going against BWA. And then it's Team Griffin at the 11th spot getting a bye. The KC Pacers White at 22 and Kansas Grind Elite at the 43 spot. Last but not least, in the final two matchups here, you have Team Foe and Victory Ministry Blue with Team KC Black and Kansas Grind Elite Silver. That right there is the bracket. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more here from the Prep Hoop Circuit. I'm Matt Reynolds, back with more after this. Back with more here on the Prep Hoop Circuit Bracket Release Show. I am Matt Reynolds. We have just given you the 17U bracket and the 16U bracket. And now I want to show you some highlights of the top 16U teams before we get to our final bracket of this region, the 15U. We'll also have Jeffrey Day towards the end of the show to break down with myself what are some of our favorite games, favorite matchups, favorite players, and so on. But let's get to those highlights. The 16U bracket, I said this at the beginning, and it can't be more true. And it's not a knock against any other team. There's a lot of talent in this bracket, but you have to start with, as you see on this highlight, a very, very talented group in Buddy Buckets. Buddy Buckets has had one of the best springs of any 16U team on this circuit with what they've been able to accomplish, and it starts with Sean Padula. You look at this highlight, it's loaded with very, very talented prospects, and we'll go ahead and bring you this highlight now. You see here that they push the ball, but they get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. That's been the key to their success all year long, that they're getting the ball in good spots, and then Sean Padula just hitting tough shots. I mean, they're against a tough Team KC squad. You see he's able to hit the tough shot, and he comes back with a beautiful dime pass to Ethan Scott, who has also been a revelation for this team. Ethan Scott can absolutely shoot the thing. I mean, when you look at Splash Bros at Golden State, I think the 16U version on the Prep Hoop Circuit, Splash Bros, easily is Sean Padula and Ethan Scott. By the way, Ethan Scott playing up in age. That's how talented this young man is. Team Buddy Buckets is going to bring it game in and game out, and you see how well they share the ball. As a team playing defense against them, it's very, very tough because Padula is so well at sharing the ball. You have to account for that, but at the same time, just as you see there, you have to count for his ability to drive the ball to the bucket and finish inside with great intensity. He is going to be an athlete that a lot of colleges, as they continue to evaluate and see him, are going to see the talent jump off the floor. Sean Padula is where it starts, but he's not the only one. You've got Keyshawn Spotwood, who you saw there just setting the screen. He's had an awesome spring. Jaden Bray handing the ball off there. He has been big time as well, bringing it defensively. Jaden Bray's defense is the heart and soul of this Team Buddy Buckets defense, along with Sean Franklin, number 15 that you see set in the screen there. Sean Franklin is willing to do whatever is necessary for this team to win, and that is in large part why Buddy Buckets has continued to have so much great success, is because they're willing to do whatever it takes to win. They have players that have bought in to Gary Harper and Daniel Harper's system, and they've got a lot of good coaches within their program. Aaron Young, Brett Cannon, two others that are of note in their program. Brandon Jackson with their 14U squad as well has done some impressive things. And when you look at everything that they have done this year at the 16U level, there's a reason why they're the number 1 overall seed without a shadow of a doubt. Well, let's get you the final bracket for the Grind region. That is the 15U bracket. And we'll take you there now for the very first look at the 15U Grind region bracket. And it starts with the number 1 seed in the entire bracket, Dallas Showtime Rise, a very, very talented group. They're led by their point guard and a guy that can even play a little bit of combo guard with everything he's been able to bring to the table, and that is Arterio Morris. Very talented young man. 32 seed is Team Buddy Buckets Gold and Boykins Basketball Academy. Team Buddy Buckets Gold has been a group that has gelled well together. They've got Mike Woolridge manning the middle down low. He's got a lot of potential, and looking forward to what he's able to bring this weekend. Oklahoma Hoops. This is a team that has really had an awesome year at the 15U level. They've got so much talent. Rashad Sullivan does just a great job with this group, and looking forward to see what they can do. But they've got a tough opening round matchup with Playball Nation. Anytime you get these 16, 17, 32, 33 matchups like this, it's very, very tough. And the winner gets Ferguson Elite. Reed Lovelace is the key to that Ferguson Elite team. He's been unbelievable at the point guard spot all spring and summer long. Really starting to hit his stride. They've also got Jamel inside, who's a big guy at the 15U level that is starting to figure it out. His potential is turning into production on the floor, and looking forward to see what he continues to develop into inside. KC Pacers Blue takes the 25 spot, and they will face a tough Clarksville Sniper squad at 40 out of Tennessee. And last but not least, you have Oklahoma Power Elite at the 9 spot. They're a team that has been in a lot of finals, but they haven't been able to push over the top. Maybe this is the weekend they can do so. All Missouri Attack will be their opponent at 24. As we go to our next quadrant in the 15U bracket on the Prep Hoops Circuit bracket release show for the Grind region, it starts with Chauncey Billups Elite. They have the last overall number 1 seed at the 4 spot, and they will get a bye and face TI Rise or the Kansas City Pacers White. 13 is Team Full Elite, and they will match up against Missouri Flight Blue. If you know anything about Missouri Flight Blue, you know they're a very, very well-coached squad. Del Lambert always has his teams ready to go. And same you could say for Team Full Elite. Team Full Elite has had an awesome year. This is one of their better overall teams. When you look at this 15U squad, they play well together, super athletic, and they're able to share the ball in the biggest moments, as well as I've seen them down the stretch come up with some big stops. All Arkansas Red takes home the 5th seed. They'll get a bye, and they will play the winner of that matchup I just talked about. Tulsa Titans at the 28th spot will play the High Plains Storm. Coach Rieger will have his guys, I'm sure, ready to go. This is an Oklahoma battle, but High Plains Storm is so far out west, they're almost to Texas. So these two teams don't see each other a whole lot, and that will be an intriguing, exciting first-round matchup. H&H Elite. This is a team that has come a long way. Braden Dutton has been unbelievable this July already, shooting the ball very, very well. They're very well coached. When you look at this group, they have all the pieces that it takes to win a tournament like this. They have started to advance and get into Final Fours and even championship games in bigger tournaments, and you're seeing a first-year program at H&H Elite take that next step to where they're going to be exactly what their name indicates, elite. Team KC Gray is who they will face in the opening round. And we go up to the number 2 overall seed, and this is a team that I expect to make a really deep run in this bracket just because of how talented they are. It's the Old School Wings. They won the St. Louis tournament that I was at. They're very, very loaded with talent, literally 1 through 5. They can play, and what makes them special, they can switch 1 through 5, any of those guys, and play some great defense. Their defense leads to offense in transition. They'll get the winner out of the Oklahoma Eagles Elite game versus Victory Ministry. Oklahoma Eagles Elite really bring a lot of different dynamics to the floor. They're very high basketball IQ squad, and Victory Ministry, as I've said many times, their program each and every team they have always is going to be a tough out, especially in that opening round. Lawton Ballhard Select at the 15 spot will get a interesting game. NLHA playing in their home court. That 15-18 matchup, that's going to be a dandy right there. Rocky Mountain Fever comes in at number 7. They will play the winner of Team KC Silver and Pluto Prospects Gold, and Pluto Prospects also takes home the 10 seed. So it's unlikely they play, but there's a possibility in this bracket. BTR rounds out the final seed of that quadrant at 23. Team Griffin enters at the 3 seed. If there's one thing we know that Teddy Owens is going to have his squad ready to go. Kevin Overton, a very, very talented guard, will be their leader this weekend, leading them into Wichita. They're down a few pieces from what I've been told, but they're still going to be a very, very tough team, and they will get the winner of B&B Academy Elite and SSA Hoops in the 30-35 matchup. The 14-19 matchup is as intriguing as it gets. That's right, Kansas Pray and Play playing very close to home against Arkansas Athletes Outreach, AAO Flight, a group that always brings it. Man, I'm pumped for the fact that we see this one in the first round tells you just how loaded this 15U bracket is. The 6th spot goes to SSA Hoops Elite Black. SSA has been a group that, they've earned this bye with some big time wins early in the spring. As I saw them later in the spring in Wichita in May, it didn't go the way that they would like it to have gone. But that being said, look out, because this could be the weekend where they start to once again show us the promise that they showed us really, really early in the year. The 27th spot is Dallas Showtime Elite against the 38 seed Ball for Life. Jody Huffman doing a really good job developing this 15U squad. I'm expecting that this one could be a possible upset if Dallas Showtime Elite White doesn't bring it. Look out, this could be one of them. Team KC Black gets the 11th spot, and last but not least, Team Buddy Buckets Rising East comes in at the 22 spot. That right there is your 15U grind region bracket, and I want to highlight a couple of the teams, and that we've got to start with this highlight coming up. And you're going to see very quickly that we could see a rematch possibly. As the highlight we're going to bring to you, it was way back when in Oklahoma City in April. That's right, Team Griffin playing against Dallas Showtime Elite. This one was as exciting as it gets. You see JVC driving to the hole. The big fella can do some really talented things, but Dallas Showtime Elite put up a fight. This was a grind to the finish, and when I look at this matchup going into this next weekend as a possibility, it just excites me altogether. Jeremiah Johnson with a nice drive to the bucket and finish there, and JV, again, he just dominated this entire game. He was big time. That being said, Dallas Showtime, lots of shooters. They've got lots of talent on their squad, and this one I expect, if it does happen again, will be one of the best games we've seen all year, as I know Dallas Showtime wants some revenge. At the same time, hey, Team Griffin, they're looking to continue on their winning ways. They're doing some big things. Their program coming off a Peach Jam victory for 16U, and their 15U has done some impressive things as well throughout this year. Well, there it is. That is all of the brackets, 17, 16U, and 15U for grind. But we've got to take one more break, and when we come back, we're going to begin to start to break down some of this bracket that we were just handed and you just saw. Back with more after this. Welcome back to the Grind Region Finals Bracket Show. We've just revealed the 17U, the 16U, and the 15U bracket. I'm Matt Reynolds, and now we're going to turn our focus south a little bit as we'll talk with Texas Prep Hoops writer Jeffrey Day, who we have on the line. Jeffrey, I really appreciate the time. Let's start with this. You just saw the bracket. What is your favorite 17U opening round game that you were able to see?
There's a lot of tough 17U open round games that's going to be taking place. Really will be interested to see the Houston Raptors at the 4 seed versus Texas Tech overlead at the 61 seed. These guys just matched up during the live period against each other. The Raptors end up winning by 3 points. Should be another really good competitive matchup. Also know that, a couple of shoe guys are coming over to various different teams. And so, I know the Grind region is going to be pretty interesting headed in to this final here in Wichita, Kansas. Also excited to see, how far Dallas Showtime is going to be able to go as well, just throughout the whole thing. I know they're the number 1 seed. They just came off of, a big UA rise, and then coming into the prep hoop circuit, these guys are looking to make a statement. As you mentioned, Day Hall, what can you say about the kid, man? He's scrappy, he's aggressive, plays the old school style of basketball. Right. He's everywhere on the floor. Also excited to see Blanchard of Team Spates, man. The kid really impresses me a lot, man. I love him. I also love Hester, man. I love the energy that most Spates brings. It's just going to be a very, very great event, man. I'm excited for it, and I just can't wait for it to take place, man. It's going to be a lot of tough matchups.
I'm with you, Jeffrey. I wouldn't have been able to pick one team even in that, just because it is such a fun bracket. Let's move down to the 16U bracket. I said this earlier, and it's no disrespect to the other teams, or they can take it as motivation, I guess, if they would like. But there's very clearly a 1 seed in Buddy Buckets. Do you see anybody being able to knock them off, or do you have Buddy Buckets winning the 16U bracket, as they have done in just every single spot they've been so far this year?
I have Buddy Buckets winning. Just a tough group, man. You can't take nothing away from the 1-2 punch combo of the guards. But, also be on the lookout for the Blazers, the St. Louis. That's a tough group. Those two, looking at the brackets, they should be able to meet up in the Final Four game. And so, the That'd Blazers and Buddy Buckets, I'm really looking forward, hopefully, to seeing that matchup. But, Buddy Buckets, the heavy favorites coming in for the 16U. But also on the other side of the bracket, you have that SSA Hoops Elite team. Right. They got some solid pieces over there. So you never know what's going to happen. Teams are going to be bringing it. Everybody's going to be hungry and want to take home that title of the Grind Region champion.
I'm with you, without a shadow of a doubt. Well, one last question, and we'll let you get back to enjoying your Saturday afternoon. Jeffrey, what player has you so excited that when you're going to Wichita next weekend? I know you may not be able to pick one, but try to pick one and give me your one player and tell me why college coaches that are going to be there should watch them. Or if you're not going to be there, college coaches, hey, you can watch online, Baller TV.
I know everybody already knows the big name guys, the Day Halls, the Deontay Blanches, but there's a kid, he has not been able to play on a single circuit event yet, named Jordan Ivy Curry, but he will be there. He's playing with the Raptors. Okay. The first one, he had a big test that he had to take at school, and then the second one, he was taking his SAT, so he missed, those 2 events. But, this is a top 5 kid within the city of the greater Houston area. He's just one of those kids. Even during the live event, a lot of coaches, D1s and D2s, like, who is this kid? Where does he come from? And so just to see him and see what he brings, the energy and the way that he plays, it'll be great for everybody else also to get to see this kid for the first time.
I'm excited to see the young man now. It's sad that we didn't get to see him earlier, but hey, we're glad we get to see him here in this final weekend. Well, thank you so much, Jeffrey, for the time, and hey, I'll see you next Friday. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a show. That's one thing we know. Lots of talent heading up to Wichita.
Yes, sir. Hey, you take care.
That was Jeffrey Day, Prep Hoops writer for us out of the state of Texas. Our Texas guys have done a great job. Well, that's going to do it for this show. Don't fret. If you're from the West Coast, we have you covered. It's coming up at the top of the hour, 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 3 o'clock Central time. It's going to be a blast, so if you want to stay with us for one more show, we got one more left. I'll just say a few closing things on the grind. I'm really looking forward to it in Wichita. If you haven't voted for the 3-point dunk contest, I implore you, go to our website, prephoopcircuit.com, right where you're watching this. Once I'm done, hey, click off, go down and vote for it, as it's going to be an exciting time Friday night. I'll be emceeing it. I'm really looking forward to those 2 events, and lots of talent. If you're a basketball fan, this next weekend in Wichita will just be fun because the brackets are just so loaded with talent. That 17U bracket, man alive, I mean, those 64 teams, any of them could win it. That's a legitimate possibility. Any team could win it. I predicted earlier a team outside of the top 25 will make the Final Four, and I will not be shocked if they make it even further than that. It's going to be a fun weekend. Until then, though, we'll say goodbye. Make sure and check out prephoopcircuit.com for all the voting on the 3-point and dunk contest, as well as stay with us, PH Circuit, on Twitter. We'll have lots of great social media activity leading up to the finals this weekend in Wichita. For Mark Jeffries, my producer, a big thank you to him, Josiah on the graphics, Nick Carroll, as well as Andrew Krepke and Median Holmes, our great Prep Hoops Circuit team that has helped us get through everything with a lot of success this year. We've been really happy to provide all of the programs a great independent asset to promote their kids, and we're looking forward to a ton of colleges that will be in Wichita this next weekend. Really looking forward to that. I'm Matt Reynolds. Until then, so long.